Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network, and welcome to Barcelona, to the circuit to Catalunya, for the latest instalment of the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. We've had a fantastic start to the season. We began the campaign a couple of weeks ago, been to the States, so now we're back in Europe, in Southern Europe. The Grand Prix circuit has been hosting the Spanish Grand Prix since 1991. In the commentary box tonight, it's two BSR TCR races, so we do know what we're talking about just about. As long as we're not getting protested. It's Adam Paff and Andrew Woodhouse. And Woody, it's the first time we've been here in the series, the circuit to Catalunya, so we really don't know what to expect. Don't think he's here. I can't see him in the Discord. But anyway, while we wait for him to get back, we can run you through the series points, which should be displaying on your screen now, I think. Ross McFarlane leads the way, 46 points ahead of Nico Foggy. Hello. Oh, and he is back. Hello.
Oh, hello. Sorry about that.
Hello. That's all right. Andrew Woodhouse, everybody. And I was just leading you in there by saying that it's the first time we've been here, so this is going to be pretty interesting. We don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I've personally not driven the track on the service yet, so I'm sure yeah, we'll get some pointers for the weekend. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Yeah, I've just had some internet issues, so you might go on and off during the broadcast. Who knows? But hopefully it stays on.
We were just mentioning the driver's standings. Ross McFarlane leads the way. He's 46 points ahead of Nico Foggy, and then it's Jack McIntyre third, Jack Sedgwick fourth. Battle of the Jacks, very close there, just 4 points between them, and then 3 points behind those two, it's Ben Palmer in fifth, so just 77 points covering the top five. Then it's Chris.
Start for V-Racer again, hasn't it? Like,
he has, yeah.
You know, McFarlane finished last season strong. They won the team's championship. Jack McIntyre, if he can sort his internet issues out, ironically, he might even pick up a few more points. Who knows?
Moving on to the rest of it, it's Chris Wood in sixth. Good job for Chris Wood and Team Ad so far. And then it's Jamie Rushworth, Miguel Freitas, Johnny Brandel and Pete Harrod in 10th place. Just 122 points covering the top 10 there. And then in Pro-Am category, it's Adam Hedgecott leading the way with Kip Stevens in second. Paul Smith just 6 points behind him in third. Then John Roberts, Mark Woodhouse completing the top five there. And finally, the top five in the team standings. V-Racer leading Sim Sports Racing USA, then XVR Sim Racing, Team Madden, and Evolution Racing Team. So one team that we haven't really mentioned there is Automech, and they've had a good start to the season. They're second in the Pro-Am Teams Championship with 151 points behind Simmortal Smile Time, who've also begun the campaign well.
Yeah, and the Team Mad stable certainly getting stronger and stronger. And Simmortal Smart Time obviously a part of that, and yeah, they've got a lot of cars in the field as well, which always helps to put a strong performance together, surely.
Qualifying session just going on at the moment. Ross Balfour, it's a good welcome back to the series for him. Well, it was until about 2 seconds ago, as Johnny Brandon comes in with a 1:15.49.49 to go on to provisional pole. Nico Foggy must have been literally right behind him. No surprise, really. They're both teammates, so the slipstreaming game is strong here. They're now 1-2, and then it's Ross Balfour in third. Alex Simpson in fourth there for Evolution Racing Team. I was with him at the Sim Expo a month and a half ago, where he got to test this car out at this track. And then it's Sven Glatzel, who we're looking at here, in fifth place. So state of play in the top five, just 3/4 of a second covering.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't have any timing quite at the moment, but yeah, it looks very close out there. Johnny Brandon absolutely smashed qualifying, hasn't he? I mean, not quite sure where that's come from, but XVR looking super strong. Miguel Freitas goes up into fourth.
Yeah, they're looking very strong indeed. Yeah, Miguel Freitas not too far away from home for this guy. He's from Portugal, Catalunya. In the southern region of Spain. I can tell you that because I've been there a couple of years ago in 2013. Did drive past this circuit, didn't visit it. I was on my way to the monster mountains, which aren't too far away from here. In fact, we're pretty much in the foothills of that region.
I will just point out, actually, Adam, just quickly. I know he's not here today, but he is flying quite high in the Drivers' Championship. It is Ben Palmer's birthday today, so happy birthday, Ben, if you're watching. But yeah, it is indeed a happy day for him, I'm sure. And maybe that's why he's not here, which I don't necessarily blame him to.
Big Alfreitas. Yeah, here is Big Alfreitas as well. Yeah, happy birthday to Ben Palmer. There you go. Sam Kumo delivering the messages. Maybe we should start charging and you can put your own message.
That's it, £4 and you can get a message on the screen.
Check a flag out in the qualifying session now and coming into what potentially could be one of the main overtaking points on the circuit. A really tricky left-hander for these drivers to master, and it does invite a move up the inside. I think we've got a race at this track on Sunday, so
we have
a good opportunity for us to get some pointers from drivers that are almost certainly better than us.
One of the more important parts of the circuit, I think, is that uphill section at I believe it's called Worth, which is, I believe, it's turn 8 and turn 9. Sorry, turn 7 and turn 8 on this circuit of Catalunya. Yeah, it's very important you get that right, and the car can sort of bottom out from underneath you because it's slightly odd camber in that part of the course. But yeah, very, very important you get that right. You can't get a slowdown really either, because that's just going to ruin your race, especially on lap 1. Got to be extremely careful, as we're going to see the drivers now. We're going to see the drivers trying to negotiate lap 1. I'll get the words out in a moment, Adam. Sure.
The chicane in F1, that's probably one of the most annoying bits on the circuit, really, because it means that the cars can't stay close to one another going onto the front straight. But here, I think it could be pretty interesting, because you could almost use it to set a driver up in front of you, and then once you're on the front straight, you're still reasonably close enough to use the slipstream to try and get by. And judging from the qualifying times we've seen so far today, this looks like it could be one of the first tracks we've been to this season where the slipstream is really going to play its part. So I'm looking forward to that. As we look at George. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. We saw at Road Atlanta, didn't we, that the slipstream was really, really prevalent at the end of that very long straight, which is about the same length as the straight here at Catalunya. So I reckon the last third of the track, so the last third of the long straight, is definitely going to give the drivers a bit of encouragement to try and make some moves up the inside into turn 1. And it's another one of those tracks as well where you can run side by side a lot in the first sector as well, especially in the touring car, because it does switch back 3 times effectively in the first 3 corners.
Yeah, the long right-hander is going to be very interesting on these cold tyres. I'll tell you what, I'm not looking forward to that at the start of... It's
going to punish the tyres, isn't it? Yeah.
Definitely on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing what our setup's going to be like for that one. I know the guys have been working on it. You can see the conditions there too. Early, mid-morning pretty much here. 10 to 12 the conditions are. And you can see some of the mountains there. Hopefully this isn't just some graphics on mine and they're something completely different. But here we go.
No, there are mountains in the background, don't worry.
They are definitely mountains.
That is the city of Barcelona in the distance as well.
Right then, the grid is on your screen. Johnny Brandon starts on pole, then it's his teammate Nico Foggy in second. Pretty ominous there. Ross Balfour for Core Sim Racing, really excited to see what he can do. He was very strong in the Kia back in the day. Miguel Freitas in 4th, then Alex Simpson in 5th, then it's Sven Glatzel, the German, in 6th. Ross McFarlane in 7th, Pete Harrod 8th, Dan Kraft 9th, his teammate, and Christian Rose in 10th. Michael Hall, the 3rd Sim Sports Racing USA car out of 4 there in 11th, and then Dave Baker in 12th. 13th on the grid is Pete Newman, then it's Jake Blackhall, Rich Warmingham 15th, then David Von Breck in 16th. 17th for Jamie Rushworth, Colin Cunniff 18th, 19th for Jack Ashton, and Mark Whithouse in 20th. 21st for Chris Wood, 22nd halfway down the grid George Simmons, and Adam McNally, Maciek Sakovic, Matt Bunn in 25th, and then Sean Gardner, Kip Stevens there for automech.co.uk, Adam Hedgecock 28th, Jack McIntyre down there in 29th place. It's going to be interesting to track his progress. Ferenc Kern, a good qualifying from him, he's in 30th. Craig Harris 31st, 32nd for Martin Sampson, and then it's Crispin Handel in 33rd, Simon Field 34th, Scott Malcolm, John Roberts, Paul Smith there in 37th, and then Jack Sedgwick, Diogo Melro, Lewis Bibby, Adam Hadfield, Michael Blake there in for Small Time Sim, also the leading Pro-Am's Teams championship leader. Then it's Ben Golight, Rob Graham, And then it's Michael Muller starting at the back in 45th place. And that is the grid as we're not too far away from getting underway here.
Here we go then. The start is going to be very, very important here. More so than probably any track of the season so far. It's about to happen in just a few seconds' time. 5 red lights are going to come on. When they go out, we'll be racing here in Circuit de Catalunya. Green light is over away. Brandon gets away decently. But not decently enough because Foggy gets a blinder. Absolutely terrific start by Foggy. They're nearly 4 wide in the background. But Foggy leads into turn 1 for XVR. The switch has happened early. What can Johnny Brandon do about it? He was so dominant in qualifying. I think he'd be a bit very disappointed he's managed to he's not managed to keep the lead there.
Not totally the end of the world. It's obviously a first of 3 20-minute sprint races here. They're fanning out. This is what we were expecting. 3 wide in most places going into the right-hander.
Great camera angle there. Going under the bridge into turn 4. Long sort of corner where you have to unwind the car. And then into 5. 5 falls away from it. Oh, crash. It's 2 of the KRD cars have crashed into each other and they've taken one of the SimSport cars out with them. It's Aaron who's got into the gravel.
That's McFarlane off too. I think that was a unrelated incident. There's another car off. That's one of the GT Omegas. That must be
Cunniff.
Oh, Colin Cunniff. Not a bad, a terrible start to the evening for him.
Yeah, Cunniff. I think Newman went into the other KRD car, who took out Harrod, I think, as well. We'll probably get the replay next lap, I would say. Oh, Ross Balfour sliding the car through turn 10. And what an exit for Miguel Freitas. He steams past the Northern Irishman. And Miguel Freitas, the Portuguese, into 3rd place. And there's been a bit of contact further down the order. I think maybe John Roberts involved, possibly.
Quite a lot of cars meant. Oh yeah, there's that looks like maybe it's slowdown for Bibby potentially. He's very slow on the exit at the hairpin going into the final chicane.
Into the aforementioned chicane then, as Adam was mentioning. It divides opinion. It's the chicane. To be honest, it's not massively divided. I think most people don't particularly like it. It's almost a little bit too slow, I think, Adam. It could do with being slightly faster and then the cars could follow a bit closer, I reckon. Oh, wide for Jack Ashton. And up the inside comes Jamie Rushworth.
Close battle this, you're right, yeah, but it does take away from the challenge of those final 2 corners before the chicane was introduced. They were 2 really, really quick corners back in 2006. Oh, up the inside there was one of the cars. Yeah, sliding sideways.
Oh, wow. 3 abreast through turn 4 then. Someone's got to give on this one.
Oh,
I think it's Blackhall. Oh, Ashton's gone.
Yeah, punted. Oh, that's got punted
away from it at the last moment. Don't know whether he missed his braking point or whether he was assisted. Both options are in play. Yeah. 10 seconds. Oh, and Simmons and Blackhall getting a bit friendly.
Yeah, going for a ride there over the massive sausage curb there. George Simmons into combat here. Looks like a slowdown penalty, and I'm not too surprised. He was forced very wide on the exit of that chicane. 2 wide in places again. There's a car out of control almost going into the left-hand hairpin. That was one of the KRD cars, I think. But anyway, up to the top of the hill.
I think it was Blackhall, wasn't it?
Yeah, Blackhall in the Night Rider Motorsport Cup.
It's Blackhall, then it's Van Broek, then Hedgecock and Simmons. This is Jack McIntyre. Finds himself a long way down. And Sven Glatzel finds himself off the track. So on the penultimate corner, Glatzel was well off at the exit of the chicane. It says Chris Wood has crashed as well. Not good for the man who's 6th in the championship. Looks like Ben Galite, John Roberts in trouble as well, further down.
Yeah, as always happened to John Roberts, said it was crashed on the event viewer, so not too sure what happened there. More problems for Glatzel as through goes Jamie Rushworth.
Yeah, I think Glatzel was still quite slow after that.
He looks like he's continuing that slowness. It might be some sort of slowdown penalty. Not too sure. Look at this. This is Jack McIntyre. Things are not going too well for V-Racer. Kiss of Death. We've pretty much given them, haven't we? After we read out the points.
Yeah, and McFarlane was already down there, wasn't he? He was already down. Well, he went down. He ended up down from 7th as well. Have they all got slowdown penalties?
Oh no, Ross McFarlane was off in the gravel on the opening of that.
Oh, it's not going well. Round the outside goes the boosted car. And it looks like McFarlane might lose a place to Sean Gardner. Oh, and there's another V-Racer car facing the wrong way, and that's Sven Glatzel. So what on earth has happened to V-Racer here?
Oh, that's an ERT car off as well in the gravel. That's Ferenc Kern.
Ferenc Kern, yeah. It's showing as independent on there, but he is an ERT driver. I don't know if he is still an independent for the championship. Apparently there's a problem for Handel and for Melro.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's collided with Warmingham, I think, there.
Audi's are very strong stuff. No damage at all to the V-Racer car after all that. And all of a sudden there goes the independent there of Ferenc Kern into the rear of our shot. So, right, understand these two are now battling as they go into the hairpin. They were sliding all over the place under braking there. We'd like to see some of that.
Like I say, I say it every week, I think, but I'm very, very eager to see what Ferenc Kern can do after a couple of months in the car, a few months in the car, because he was a World Championship driver, don't forget.
Leave you. Back at the front, 18th is Jack Ashton here. He is just behind Adam Hadfield. He's had a fantastic race so far, 24 places gained. Paul Smith's in there too. He's gained 21 spots in the opening exchanges, so watch out for these guys as we go too wide into the first corner.
Sedgwick is in there.
And
off goes Woodhouse, and he's into the gravel. So Matt Woodhouse dropping all the way down. He's going to have to reverse that one out of the gravel. And the two V-Racer cars trying to recover now, Adam. It's not the start they wanted to their meeting at all, is it? And now trying to go around the outside of Kip Stevens there in the 55.
Got to look at some of the positives. They'll have the reverse grid to look forward to. Up the inside there was Ross McFarlane trying to get by Adam Hedgecock, it looks like, going into the chicane. It's V-Racer versus Boosted. Wheel to wheel through the chicane. And
just to go through on the inside there.
Quite a quick corner.
And into Campsa, there's no chance really either. Which is a very quick corner. There's some massive crashes there over the years. And Hedgecock's going to try and defend the inside, but of course, McFarlane doesn't like to waste any time with his overtakes. Although Hedgecock still has the momentum. He's trying to squeeze him. Oh, and he does just about squeeze him. It says Newman and Harrod have crashed again. Potentially there. A bit lower down the order. That might have just been holding each other up, possibly, more than anything else. If it does go through, if it does go down below a certain speed on our event viewer, it does register as them crashing.
Oh, way up.
Oh, maybe they have. They have crashed again.
Oh,
and there's a crash with the boosted car.
Little knock there from, that was Sean Gardner, I think.
Oh, and then Conniff going into Sean Gardner.
Well, it was either him or Simon Field.
No, I think it's. I think that is.
That is Simon Field.
It's Field, isn't it? Sorry, not him.
The Irishman there in the boosted car.
Now, the front. It's getting close at the front, by the way. Nicole Foggy is coming under pressure from Johnny Brandon, and looking at the qualifying times, I mean, it does not seem like much of a surprise to me that this is happening.
No, it isn't. Of course, Nicole Foggy hasn't got any toe at all in front of him, and he's acting as a very good one for Johnny Brandon. So,
and Brandon was 0.4 of a second quicker in qualifying.
Yeah, he was too. So, over a lap, you'd expect him to start to close the gap a little bit. Well, Foggy is obviously very good at defending his position, so he'll have all the tricks in the book ready to throw in defence at Johnny Brandon, and let's not rule out Ross Balfour either. So we've got a nice three-car breakaway going on here as we approach the halfway point in this Open.
Well, that's obviously as well still depending on the fact whether they actually want to have a battle or not. They might decide not to bother. because they have a 1-2 in the pocket at the moment. Now Ross Balfour is catching them quite quickly, but there's 4 seconds back to Miguel Freitas, who's got a little train behind him actually of Michael Hall, Alex Simpson, Christian Rose, David Baker and Dan Kraft.
And Alex Simpson is
so the
right.
The front three aren't under a lot of risk, is what I'm saying. Sorry.
Yeah, 4 seconds is definitely not enough for them to pick any toe up at all. Here comes Alex Simpson. Michael Hall is forcing him almost into the pit lane there down the front straight, but it looks like the former World Championship Grand Prix Series driver is going to get the position. Up the inside he goes. Car 99 is through, but Hall's trying to set him up on the exit of this going into the long right-hander at Renault.
Well, you can do that here as well. I've seen many drivers do that. Simpson holding the inside. He's going to have to keep the inside as well into 4. Of course, that Hamilton and Rosberg crash is the most famous thing that's probably happened on that piece of circuit in 2016. Hall's going for the inside, down the hill into, is it Elf? Can't remember. Yeah, Simpson seems to be clear now, but the CQR car's going to have a look. And there's Christian Rose. Dave Baker's in there. Baker's been slowed up a little bit though. Dan Kraft fancies a go, doesn't he, into Capsa?
See if you can. This is a great corner where if you launch it off the exit, you can try and get up the inside, going into La Caixa, turn 10. And he is going for
Dave Baker. What a move that is by car 6. And he's up into 7th to be only one more place, I think.
And the Killer Bees are the CQR club team going in for the kill there. Next up, they've got to try and get by the Sim Sports Racing USA car of Michael Hall, who was battling away with Alex Simpson on that previous lap.
But will there be a sting in the tail to this race, Adam?
I set that up perfectly for you, didn't I? Oh,
big crash! It's Cunniff, it's Field, it's Blake, it's a couple of others as well. Chris Wood, I think, as well. Let's see it. Bit of a carambolage there. So into turn 10, down the inside goes the V-Racer car, absolutely mullers everyone, and that's 3 or 4 cars off the track. Car 5, 1, 3 is Sven Glatzel, who'd obviously had enough of being down in about 30th place, Adam, and just decided, well, I've had enough of this, I'm going through. It didn't help. It's made it worse, actually. He's down in 33rd now.
Yeah, for many car lengths behind, arriving on the scene.
Lengths.
Many cans. Yeah, cans of, what do they drink out here? Estelle or whatever.
Something like Estelle. What is it? Galicia or whatever. Yeah, that's
Tio
it.
Pepe or whatever. I remember them the Grand Prix back in the day. Are they still around? Some wine.
I think they are. Melrose and Harrod. Well, yeah, Melrose and Harrod are still battling away. I know that Harrod's been off the track a couple of times so far through no fault of his own. He was caught up in that turn 10 squabble on lap 1 when the KRD cars decided to run into each other. Michael Muller has been in the pits for
San Miguel,
10 minutes, so he's just coming out to get some experience. I believe a rookie in the ARL TCR.
There you go, San Miguel. That's what everyone drinks here. As Pete Harrod goes through the chicane at Worth, you're right, then up to Campster. It right within the slipstream of the Team Mad car. He's had a very good race so far. 11 places gained for Diogo Melrose, but is that going to be demoted to 10? No, it isn't.
I can't wait to race on this circuit, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
I cannot wait to get stuck in, just like Michael Blake is doing on Simon Field, but Field is still overlapping. It's got to give him a little bit of room. And he does give him the room. Chris Wood having to stay right on the inside as well because Sven Glatzel is still about.
Oh, up the inside.
If there's anyone in this field that might have... Oh, there goes Field, in fact.
Yeah, he went very well.
He's flying into the chicane. He bashes him. And Wood's coming back at him. It's like so pretty clever. Oh! And into the gravel goes Chris Wood.
Oh, well, that all started by Simon Field running wide on the exit of Europe car and then up the inside into the...
He might be approaching them for a new vehicle after that.
Oh, yeah, I think it's Alex Simpson's favourite corner, that one. So after his exploits there, wheel to wheel there, that's one of the Team Mad cars. That is Maciek Sakovic up the inside of John Roberts.
Indeed, yeah, he is. It's got to 3/10 between Brandon and Balfour. I just wonder if it's worth having a look at that to see if anything's going to happen. Ross Balfour running as an independent. Doesn't have anything to lose, really.
Well, he's got his core sim racing livery on here as Ross Balfour.
Well, on his first race back, he might be enjoying a little bit of the bubbly after this one. Who knows? Maybe not after this one. Maybe at the end of the night.
Well,
don't necessarily condone drinking between races. Although certain drivers probably do anyway. As here are the two XVR cars and coming through the final sector into the chicane. Great camera angle. This I do like. That's one thing I do like about the chicanes. It does give some good camera angles. And Ross Balfour's going to get a great run actually through the final corner and onto the main straight. Don't get DRS, unfortunately for him. But fortunately for him, the slipstream is still decent enough. He's going to be in the braking zone to challenge, isn't he?
Well, it's just over a 2-minute lap, so the laps are running out, and maybe he fancies this chance now. He's playing chicken with them a little bit going into the first corner at Elf.
He's having a look though, isn't he? And that's the thing. He's good, unsettled Johnny Brandon, who's you know, he's very good. He's Johnny, but he's not exactly immune to mistakes and having issues, is he? I mean, we've seen on Sunday nights that I've gone past him quite a few times when he's been facing the wrong way. Whether it's his fault or not is another matter. But here's that battle we were watching earlier on between Hall, Baker, Rose, Kraft, two CQRs, two Sim Sports USA. I believe it is the same stable. I still haven't managed to do any journalism really and find out whether that's true. But yeah, all these drivers have driven for CQR in the past. It's only fair to maybe assume that.
Yeah, Michael Hall, Champions of the Future champion in the Kia a few years ago. Dave Baker, PSR TC champion. Well, yeah, quite a long time ago now, in fact, yeah. And then, yeah, Dave Baker, BSRTC champion at the end of 2014, or just going into 2015, I think. And then Christian Rose doing very well in the Audi, and Dan Kraft, who's come close in the past to winning a title in this series. So, they've all got a very strong pedigree going into the hairpin here.
A lot of pedigree between the four of them. And,
yeah.
If they're just going to maybe... Holding station isn't something that these guys always like to do, really, is it? But I wonder if it might be the sensible thing to bring home a solid top 10. Got a teammate behind them in Rushworth. Well, the CQR boys have anyway, technically. Oh, it's getting close now. 2/10 between Brandon and Balfour, going down the down the main straight into the braking area for Elf.
Here's Johnny, but he just can't get by Nicole Foggy into Elf.
Yeah, and Balfour is really closing in. Looks like he's got more grip through turn 3.
Can he do into Repsol? Is he going to look up? Is anybody going to look at the inside? Maybe just a little bit there.
He's using a lot of the outside. It's Balfour trying to get on the power early. That's important here. A couple of different lines you can take. You can just go all the way around the outside. He's fighting down the inside into turn 5. You've really got to get that car ahead. You've got to slide in front of the other man going through there. Otherwise, they are going to do just what Brandon's done, Adam, and that is just carry on around the outside. I think Michael Hall and Christian Rose are trading places as we speak.
Yeah, wheel to wheel into the Worth chicane. Oh, squeeze!
Wheel to wheel, in fact, literally.
Yeah, literally.
Kraft.
Dan Kraft arrives on the scene. Up he comes. He's going to craft an overtake here, and he's got through. So Dan Kraft into what wide on the exit goes his Sim Sports Racing USA teammate of Michael Hall, and it's not over. There comes Christian Rose. He wants that place back going into the Lekaixa hairpin. All the way through that.
I mean, the teammate of Michael Hall would be Dan Kraft. Look at this. It's allowed Rushworth to get in.
Yeah, Jamie Rushworth, is he going to look at the inside into the Europe car right-hander? No.
It's closer than ever at the front. He's closer than ever over the start-finish line then to start the last lap. Balfour is in striking distance, Adam, he really is.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. He's got the toe. Bit of dirt, bit of dust getting kicked up there. We're looking from the rear of Johnny Brandon.
He knows that a set-up move is what he needs to do. He needs to get into turn 4, level with Johnny Brandon. Oh!
Oh,
look at that.
Got a face full of Audi grill. Going up to Repsol. He's covering the inside line, is Brandon. Look at, I think Balfour's going to try and get the mother of all cutbacks here on the exit, isn't he?
It can work here. It can work. It can work. He's very close. I wonder if what this might do, yeah, and that's what I thought it could do, Adam, is it might force Brandon into trying to take Foggy just to keep his place.
Yeah, Nico Foggy isn't at all out of the woods just yet here as he goes into the Worth chicane. He needs to make sure he gets a good exit out of camps here, otherwise he could be under pressure from his teammate. Brandon is really starting to get a face full of course in racing car here.
He just hit Campser perfectly, does Foggy though. But Balfour is right in the slipstream into turn 10. Foggy's trying to give some slipstream to Brandon. Balfour, he's got it through anyway. He's made contact with the XVR car. Ross Balfour up into second place. Don't think there's going to be anything you can do about Foggy. But he is into second. I wonder if Brandon's just going to try and give him a little nudge coming down the hill. Do the right-hander into the chicane. He has to block. It means he's very slow through it. Oh, Brandon's hit the curb. That's going to be it for him. But Nicole Foggy, he's going to come through. He started on the front row. He beats his teammate. He beats Ross Balfour. And he takes the first ever ARL TCR race here at the Circuit of Catalunya in Spain.
Fantastic duel between those guys. Here comes Christian Rose. He's right on the boot lid of Christian Rose. He's not going to make it. It's going to be Dan Craft in 8th, Christian Rose 9th, and Jamie Rushworth completing the top 10. It's pretty close between Lewis Bibby and Ross McFarlane for 20th and 21st. They're just coming through the final corner now. Very nearly a drag race. This is going to be the Automech.co.uk car that has a fantastic fight through the field. 20 places gained to finish in the top 20.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. We're looking at Simon Field, who's had all sorts of interesting times throughout this race. Blake and Glatzel and Woodhouse to the line. Oh, I think it was Blake who just gets it by a couple of hundreds over Sven Glatzel, who finishes 32nd after his many excursions. That's not the worst result I've ever seen for Glatzel, considering just how many times he was off the track and in the gravel and facing the wrong way.
Yeah, 32nd place might help him out in the reverse grid. We'll have to wait and see what the reverse grid wheel hands us there. But there is Nicole Foggy. Fantastic start to the evening for him, and it is his his second win of the season. Go with his success at Snetterton in race 1. Both his wins coming in race 1. After that, he's only finished on the podium twice since then. Race 3 at Snetterton and race 2 at Road Atlanta. So he'll be hoping for a good trend this evening, and he'll be hoping that that puts him into the championship lead. It should do, because Ross McFarlane, after going off into the gravel at the start of race 1, is only finished outside the top 18. So that should hand the championship lead to Nicole Foggy. As we've got the results on your screen now, it's Foggy that wins, Ross Balfour second, Johnny Brandon in third, Miguel Freitas, Portuguese, finishing in fourth, car 999, and then it's Alex Simpson in fifth, car 99. Dave Baker, car 6, finishing in sixth, living up to his name there. And then it's the two teammates, Michael Hall and Dan Craft, and then the two CQR cars of Christian Rose and Jamie Rushworth. Aussie's own Jake Blackhall finishing in 11th, car 97. And in 12th, the top am, is Adam McNally. Adam Hadfield's just behind him in 13th for Automech Knock Hill. And then it's Jack Sedgwick 14th, Rich Warmingham 15th. David Von Breck is in 16th, the Belgian. George Simmons 17th, Revolution Racing Team. Then it's Paul Smith. A good drive there by the Yorkshireman in 18th place. Jack Ashton 19th, 20th for Lewis Bibby. Ross McFarlane in 21st with his teammate Jack McIntyre in 22nd. It hasn't been the best evening so far for V-Racer. In fact, I think those are the highest V-Racer cars right there. Adam Hedgecock in 24th for Kip Stevens, and then Sean Gardner 25th. Pete Newman for KRD in 26th, and it's Diogo Melro in 27th. 28th for Pete Harrod, and then moving on further back is Rob Graham, Maciek Sakovic in 30th, Michael Blake in 31st. A good drive through the field from him there, considering he started pretty much at the back. And then Sven Glatzel right in the thick of the action. A few bits of contact there for him, but he manages to rescue a finish there in 32nd. Then it's Mark Woodhouse, Ferenc Kern, John Roberts, Craig Harris, and then Simon Field, the Irishman there in 37th. Then it's Crispin Handel in 38th, Martin Sampson 39th, and Colin Cunniff off in the gravel at the Seat hairpin in 40th. Chris Wood 41st, Scott Malcolm 42nd, just over a minute behind. Then Ben Galite 1 lap down, Matt Bunn a lap down as well. And then the final finisher, retiree, our only retiree for the race, was Michael Muller, 5 laps down in the end. So he won't be able to benefit from the reverse grid, but we will be able to find out who can by getting the reverse grid wheel up for the first time today and saying hello to Sam Kumo, who's going to spin it. Pretty busy first race for the cameras, for the man on the cameras. Let's see what this reverse grid wheel can do. Will we get a full?
Yeah, that was busy for the cameras, but I think this one will be even busier. And yes, it will be. It is 45.
God. 45 is meant to be.
That's all of them, isn't it?
Yeah, that is literally all of them. However, Michael Muller, because he's 5 laps down, it doesn't count. So we'll go back to Matt Bunn. Car triple one. If you say it so many times, eventually it'll come true. And it means he is on P1 for race 2 with Pengalite car triple 2 in second. Nice bit of symmetry there. Scott Malcolm in third. Chris Wood in fourth, and Colin Cunniff. Some potential for the redemption there. He's going to be starting in fifth. A good opportunity for a Scotsman to get another win here tonight.
Yeah, maybe so. And our first ever visit to Spain here on Apex Racing TV, and well, the iRacing Esports Network for the TCR, of course, has already proven to be very exciting, and we've still got 2 more rounds to go here tonight. So please stay with us here on the iRacing Esports Network for 2 more rounds of the ARL TCR series. We'll see you after the break.
growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, everybody, to the iRacing Esports Network and the Circuit de Catalunya in Spain. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumar here for Apex Racing TV, bringing you all the action from the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series. This is round 2 of the evening, of course. Reverse grid was set, and Adam Bath, it was 44 drivers that are going to be swapped around out of the 45 who started. It could be quite amazing, this one.
Yeah, we could have had more, but unfortunately Muller was a few laps down, so he wasn't classified. But yeah, looking forward to this. 44 cars reversed. Nicole Foggy and Johnny Brandon and Ross Balfour have got some work to do if they want to get anywhere near the heights they were at in race 1. So I think this could be really, really interesting, and there is an opportunity for quite a few of the drivers that weren't at the front in race 1 to really make their mark here in the second race. We're now starting to get the grid formed.
Yeah, here we go, looking at the grid. It's Matt Bunn who's on pole position, car 111, as Adam said, ahead of Ben Galite, car 222. Scott Malcolm is in 3rd, Chris Wood 4th, 5th for Colin Cunniff, 6th for Martin Sampson, Crispin Handel in 7th, and then Simon Field 8th, 9th for John Roberts, and 10th for Ferenc Kern. Mark Woodhouse 11th, ahead of Sven Glatzel. 13th is Michael Blake, then Michael Magic Sakovic in 14th, Rob Graham 15th, Pete Harris 16th, 17th for Diogo Melro, 18th for Pete Newman, 19th for Sean Gardner, and 20th for Kit Stevens. And then race 1 winner, I'm just going to go all the way down, the rest of the grid cycling through on your screen. And we go a long way down to find Nicole Foggy. There he is, Adam, 43rd place.
He's just about on the exit of the final corner, isn't he?
He's got a lot of work to do, that's for sure. He's going to try his best, I reckon. Here we go then. Round 2 of the evening. We're away, the Audi's burst into life. Ben Galite gets a terrific start for 2nd place. Look at Colin Cunniff. He's got nowhere to go though. He made a terrific start. Absolutely nowhere for him to go. We're nearly 3 abreast into turn 1. Something's going to happen here. Oh, and off. Somebody got barged right off the track there. As Matt Bunn sideways is the V Racer goes for Glatzel again. Oh, if he just doesn't have any luck, it seems, at the moment. Just Glatzel. Chris Wood actually takes the lead from Colin Cunniff. Where did Chris Wood come from? I've absolutely no idea. 4th on the grid is the answer. Oh, and now he's gone wide, and now Cunniff is through. Ben Galite's in there with Simon Field on the outside.
Yeah, Galite's loving this. No, he's not.
He's not anymore.
And off goes Simon Field. He's into the gravel, and so too is Ben Galite. So that's the front row advantage wasted. Oh dear, there's another car off. Waste. Unintentional boosted fun. And that off is also one of the... Oh, there's more cars off. There's a...
Oh, of course. Lewis Bibby. He's also in the gravel in the ultimate car. There goes, there's Alex Simpson making moves. Up into 26th place past Adam McNally.
Crowd are beside themselves as we're up there. Going into the hairpin we go then, into the Lacaics hairpin. Is about 4 wide in some places there.
It is. Oh, bit of a contact there. Simpson into Kraft into whoever's in front of him. Car 333. Jamie Rushworth getting pinballed a little bit. Well, this is hectic. This is probably what's going to happen to us on Sunday night.
Oh yeah, I'm almost not looking forward to this all of a sudden.
Hopefully without the visit to the gravel trap.
Oh,
it's all kicking off. Somebody's going in the pits. Rob Graham might be the safest place, to be honest. So he's coming in to serve what I can only assume is possibly a jump start penalty.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do that in these cars, I must admit. Oh, Linefoot's complete the first lap, then it is Cunniff that leads, then it's Chris Wood 2nd, Scott Malcolm 3rd, Bunn 4th, Roberts 5th, Diogo Melro is on a mission, 11 places gained, he's in 6th, and look at this is Ross McFarlane versus Michael Blake.
Michael Blake locking up then. Running a little bit wide, losing out to McFarlane. But yeah, the top 3 are actually quite spread already. Conniff's 1.3 ahead of Chris Wood. Wood's 1.7 ahead of Scott Malcolm. Malcolm's 1.6 ahead of Matt Bunn.
Oh, very sideways Diogo Melro there.
It's Melro.
Collided with Melro, whoever it was. It was, I don't really know. But he's in 8th place now, 9 places gained, so that still reiterates his strong start. Is Jack Sedgwick. He's gained 19 places in the space of a lap.
Didn't see him very much, did we, in the first round?
No, we didn't. Now here he is, trying to get by Night Rider Motorsports' Pete Newman. Rounding outside of Campster goes the ERT car. It looks like he's going to get it done.
That's very brave indeed by Jack Sedgwick. And following him through is Simmons. Trying to get 2-for-1 special here for ERT. KRD car covers him off. There is a bit of contact through 11 and opens the door for McIntyre to come through. So Jack McIntyre going up into 13th place at the expense of George Simmons. And it's
Pete
all
Newman
stacking up, Adam, behind John Roberts, it looks like.
Yeah, Roberts. It's a bit of a Roberts train, this. And Jack McIntyre there. Pete Newman was his knight in shining armour. As they come out of the right-hander onto the front straight then. 4 laps in the book. And yeah, John Roberts up in 5th place. And then after that, it's a sea of tenths of a second behind, as you mentioned. And here comes one of the Team Mad cars. That is Mark Woodhouse trying to get by into the right-hander. But alas, he can't find a way through Crispin Handel.
Well, he nudges him. But Handel stays ahead. How well can he handle this situation? Well, I think well enough, because he's staying well out of the way. Around turn 3. Get driven into at this point, it could be disaster. Cedric flying up the inside of Michael Blake. Really just going hell for leather on that one. Melrose gone through. Oh, and up the inside goes McFarlane. Handel's getting bullied a little bit here. Oh, and he's getting turned around by the ERT car. And then he gets finished off by Michael Blake.
He's got going again, but he's down in, at best, 22nd. He's side by side here with Jack Ashton.
Oh, there goes Ashton.
Go!
Well, it's just one of those, isn't it? I think he might have been a bit of frustration on Handel's part, but he might have not wanted to give too much room to Ashton, but I'm sure he didn't intend to go up to panel him off.
Oh, the cork in the John Roberts bottle might just be about to be blown off, because through goes Matt Bunn past the boosted car.
What it has done though, Adam, is it's really spread the front 3 out still. There's now 8 seconds between Cunniff, Wood and Malcolm, which is great news for the likes of Scott Malcolm, because he won't have to deal with necessarily some of these, well, some of the aliens like McFarlane and Cedric and the rest.
Yeah, Scott Malcolm is yet to appear on the podium this season, and he's currently sat in 3rd place, and he is the highest Pro-Am driver as well. So this is turning into a great race so far.
Well, I was driving behind him at Road Atlanta and couldn't do anything about him, couldn't catch him. So it's not going to be as easy as what maybe some of these guys will think.
We're just over a quarter of the way through the race, so he'll take solace in that. Not too long for him to hold on, really, is John Roberts.
6 laps or so, 7 laps.
And not too long at all. Here comes Jack Sedgwick. He was in 7th at the start of this lap, 23 places gained. He is the biggest mover in the field. Going into Seat, he is gonna make it 24 as he gets past John Roberts. Oh! Into the gravel goes John Roberts.
Well, yeah.
I think that was a bit like one of the moves we saw on Sunday, where the guy Cedric, he had got the place, and maybe Roberts should have just backed out there.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Very, very difficult to really judge. I mean, if you go by the overlap rule, you expect to be given some space, but at the same time, realistically, the guy's 80-90% of his car in front. Oh, wow! Matt Bunn overshoots the corner at turn 10. And Ross McFarlane says, thank you very much, I'm coming through, I'm going to take 4th position away.
The Night Rider Motorsports really had to recalculate that route there, and and Bunn back on McFarlane ahead, and Bunn down to 5th. He's got Jack Sedgwick right behind him now. This could be interesting.
Bunn's defending hard now from Sedgwick.
Car's running over the sausage curve on the exit there. Fastest lap of the race for Colin Cunniff. You can just about see him there, speck in the distance. As here comes Sedgwick. Bunn puts up the defence. He's moved over to the inside line. Now here comes Sedgwick around the outside here.
Yeah, he's not going to clear him by the time they get to turn 1. But he has got a shot if he can be very late on the brakes, Sedgwick. He won't have the ideal line now, Adam, and Matt Bunn can switch back on him, use a wide entry into 3, potentially get him into 4.
Yeah, this is by no means over for Matt Bunn. See if he can get by into Repsol. Is he going to have a look at the inside? No, he isn't. So the Team Mad car there, Diogo Melro, very nearly got by, beat Newman there, and running a little bit wide there goes Matt Bunn, which does allow the aforementioned Newman to close in a little bit.
It does indeed. And here comes Melro, trying to go around the outside of Newman. Diogo Melro then.
It's looking like it's very easy to get the cars stuck together. Oh, and someone's off. That's Ross Balfour.
Dodo, careful.
After the joy of the race 1 podium, it's back to the rear for Ross Balfour. Let's have a look at what happened.
The core car. Oh, there was an accident between Hedgecock and Simpson. And then I think, did Hedgecock disappear?
Yeah, he dematerialised and
then appear just where I think he was.
Roberts was, I think. Oh my god.
No, it says Scott Malcolm's crashed.
Oh no,
yeah, he has. Wait. He's down from. He's not in the top 3 anymore.
He's there.
Well, what's happened to him?
God knows what's happened here. We're going to look at the replay in a moment. Here is the replay. Now, we'd already lost all the time by this point, and all the cars in the field were going by. So I'm very intrigued to know what happened to cause all this.
Oh well, he has technically crashed. I think he went below the speed threshold. I wonder if he got a slowdown, Adam.
Maybe if he ran up,
slow down, and then he's fallen victim to that.
Through the Worth chicane, maybe. Might be.
Probably.
Could be, yeah. And he's now wheel to wheel with Diogo Melro, the Portuguese, looking at the inside with the magenta wheels, and he is going to be tickled pink with that because he's through into 7th.
Yeah, he's through. The first Iberian race ever in the ARL or BSR TCR.
Oh, plenty of good tracks in this region.
Oh yeah, iRacing need to come over and do a few more of them. You've got Jerez, you've got Algarve, Valencia,
Estoril,
Jarama. There's plenty of good ones.
Valencia.
He keeps disappearing. Of course, that's McIntyre disappearing and then appearing on the other side of Scott Malcolm's car.
Oh, and off.
Oh, it's Kern.
Oh, that's the second time he's gone into that gravel trap today.
And he was quite high up, actually, wasn't he, Ferenc? He knows how to race, he knows how to fight. Oh, he knows how to go wide through Worth as well, by the looks of it.
Inside goes the Automech car, that is Martin Sampson. He's also got Lewis Bibby in his sister Automech Knock Hill car, very close for company. Oh my god! Through the middle!
Well, he's going to go for it on both of them.
Wow.
The car on the inside very wisely just avoids the contact. Martin Sampson said, no, I'm not getting involved in that.
Look at this. This is through Europe car and into the chicane. This is Dan Kraft forging a path on the outside. John Roberts, he's desperate.
Oh, there he goes.
Desperation from Roberts to try and keep. Who's that he's battling with? That's Mark Woodhouse at bay. Free right for the final corner.
In the middle, that's Simmons.
Good God.
The maniac. He was at the race. He was with McLaren at this race. Was George Simmons, I believe last season.
God, my word, he's brave there.
And now he's been hit slightly into the braking zone. He's been hit again. And he went into Dan Kraft that time. Roberts versus Woodhouse, I think.
Yeah, they've been wheel to wheel for the space of about half a lap.
Oh,
gets stuck.
John goes a bit wide. And Mark had to get out of the way, really. Might lose a place to Kraft as a result, in fact, into turn 4. Look at this battle. I mean, the battle box gives us 10 to 16th, Adam, but it's double the size of that, really.
Yeah,
Triple the size, maybe.
Maybe 2 dozen, or maybe 1.5 dozen cars within that shot going into the straight hairpin. Roberts, credit to him, he's resilient in his defence of a spot inside the top 10.
He's struggling for pace here, it seems, John Roberts. He was, well, we've seen this season, he's been very, very fast indeed. Oh, there's a car there's a car off.
Bunn, it's happened again, it's Matt Bunn. Oh dear.
No fun for Bunn. He might be done. But let's see who comes out on top in this one. Oh, Simmons late on the brakes again. He nudges into Kraft. And then it's a Newton's cradle behind him as they all just pile into each other. That's Alex Simpson going relatively slowly in the middle of that battle.
Yeah, Alex Simpson was the proverbial punch bag there as he goes around the outside.
He has driven this track before. Maybe not for a few years. He has certainly got experience here. Oh, he's been turned around and also contacting with the CQR car with KRD car, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, bloody hell.
Not the most conventional rejoin there.
Not the best.
That was Jake Blackwell, I think, former colleague of Alex.
Johnny Brandon's going for the middle. He's trying to take the award, the Josh Simmons award for the biggest maniac of the day. Oh, and he goes into Glatzel. Glatzel's hit Brandon. I think that was Brandon pushing into Glatzel maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, push came to shove there. Forging a path through the middle there was Ferenc.
There's a lot of shoving going on, Adam, isn't there, really? I mean, I think Push has come to shove it about 157 times so far.
Yeah, the elbows are definitely out here with 5 minutes to go. I think it's just going to get more and more short-tempered as the evening goes on. Dierkem Heller.
Oh, there goes, and is Kern going to end up in the gravel again at that corner? He's hit up the rear by, I think, Pete Harrod.
Oh my
voice is going. They're 3 wide. This is going to end in disaster. They don't know that each other are there. There goes Harrod off into the gravel at Worth.
Yeah. So what was that worth? That's a loss of. No, there's a loss of many places. Only outside goes.
I was about to say you have to ask if it was worth it, but yeah. It was always going to happen, though, wasn't it? I don't know why they didn't get the 3 wide call, though. You would have moved away if you had the 3 wide call. Surely the car on the inside is, you would say, mostly. I think probably mostly responsible for that.
I think you've just got to hope that the spotter might have lost his marbles and not known how to describe that or comprehend that situation. Here is one man that is very in control. It is Colin Cunniff. He has got a 3.5 second lead with 4 minutes to go, or just under 4 minutes. He's leading Chris Wood, and then it's Sedgwick who's got Ross McFarlane very close to company.
I think he's got 3 laps to hang on to this victory, Colin Cunniff. Here's Sedgwick versus McFarlane, as you said there. ERT versus V-Racer. And Sedgwick, who started in 30th place, and as Adam said, made a good 15-20 places on lap 1. Has serenely sort of got on with his business since the halfway point, but, you know, do not bet against Ross McFarlane.
Yeah, Ross McFarlane did very well last season.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Oh, it's car 2 v car 3. The top 2 of the top 3 of last year's championship going at it for a spot on the podium.
Yeah, and 3rd and 4th in this race, which I think it will still suit both of them.
Fight is still led by Scott Malcolm as well. You can see that from the blue on the timing tower. If you knew, that's what it means.
McFarlane, of course, leading the championship, don't forget.
Yeah, one of the few drivers to win more than 1 race this season, I think. Him and Nico Foggy have got that in the same club. Here comes John Roberts up the inside of Malcolm. Pro-Am fight well and truly reignited here.
Oh.
And he's through.
Indeed, he'll be excited by that. Well, John Roberts. And Scott Malcolm's done well, to be honest, considering he lost all those places in one go. He's held on in there.
Mark Woodhouse, he's just trying to work out how on earth he can get by John Roberts. But he's got Scott Malcolm in the way now. Oh,
He's got a different target, hasn't he, to try and negotiate.
targeted, could say. Well, that's past tense. He's targeting the small-time Simultor car as he comes across the line.
See whether he can do it then. He's going to try and go to the inside. Is Dan Craft going to have a go as well? Don't think so. I think Dan Craft knows better than that. Woodhouse up the inside, rides the inside curb. Needs to give the space on the inside though. All the time you have to leave the space. A few good chickens on this track as well, as I'm thinking about it.
Yes. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Up the inside. I'll get that in a minute. I will get that reference.
I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you what. If you let me take it for 10 seconds, you'll understand. As we're going through, we're approaching the first chicken now.
Oh yeah, very good. Penny drops.
You're going to die for some chickens. Someone is. And it's going up through Worth, and then through Campsett, Craft and Rushworth.
Should get one more lap in when we get to the line. Oh, Roberts. That's Roberts getting by McIntyre. Now
Foggy is getting quite a lot of places.
I don't know why. I don't know. Did Jack McIntyre just come out of nowhere though? Has he always been in that battle?
I think he's always been in the battle, but I think he's been appearing and disappearing and materialising here and there.
Oh, Roberts. He's really at a disadvantage through the chicane there. He missed the first apex by quite some margin, and now he's got the entire train at his mercy as he comes out the final corner to start the final lap.
There we go then. Woodhouse trying to get that side draft. That's the only draft he's going to get from this train. Craft is having a look. That rhymes with draft. And he's up the inside. Three abreast into turn one. Slight contact goes into McIntyre. Then Rushworth is now sideways as well after a nudge. And up the inside of him is the ERT car of George Simmons, taking advantage of that opportunity.
Tell you what, that boosted car is very quick down the straight. I think that's something we've seen all season, really. He had a whole lot of people behind him and he was able to keep them at bay. Is up the inside now. Simmons v Rushworth. Mark Woodhouse can't believe his luck.
Great on the starts and great on the straights is the boosted car indeed. They're always flying off the grid, make tremendous starts, and there's bash into each other. Goes Simmons and Rushworth once more. And there's a battle, the battle for, yes, McFarlane and Sedgwick.
And Chris Wood's in the party too. Oh, very, very close indeed. And they're still wheel to wheel in the final sector.
I wonder if Wood's low on fuel, you know, because he had a massive lead over these two. And it's now... Yeah, he's run out of fuel, Adam.
Oh,
He's run out of fuel. But if there's anywhere that he can keep them behind, it might be here. Colin Cunniff. He's coming through the final corner right now. He's going to win the race. Wood is out of fuel, I'm pretty sure. Cunniff is going to win it. Oh, just about.
oh,
I don't know if Wood is out of fuel. What happened? He seems fine there.
It's going to say if he ran out of fuel, it would have made
He's
sense.
in the actual start line here.
No, it definitely is the timing line. I can definitely assure you of that. Here we go. Over the line comes Roberts. You'll see the checker flag appear there. There you go.
Oh, it's all right. I just didn't see it come up until a bit later on.
Oh, wrecking across the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
bringing the
that's
series
unprofessional.
into disrepute there. It's all joking, of course. Johnny Brandon going sideways across the line. Dear me.
Should know better.
Yeah, well, this is it. But no harm done. No harm done in the end, by the looks of it, anyway.
Yeah, they'd already crossed the line by that point. Here's Colin Cunniff then. Well, he was in the gravel at Sayat in race 1.
I'm going to
Here he
get
is.
fired, aren't
He's seated at the top of the podium. Or standing
Seated.
at the top of the podium. Yeah, standing at the top of the podium.
We've
In,
bugged that one up, haven't we?
in
Between
race
us.
2. Yeah.
It was a good race, though. It was a good race. The midfield battle was absolutely tremendous. And, yeah, really, we're looking forward to what the third round's going to bring. And goodness knows, I mean, the likes of Alex Simpson and Paul Smith and Pete Harrod and Christian Rose are going to want that massive reverse grid to come up again.
What are the chances of that happening again? Usually if race 2's a big one, race 3
is 10.
Yeah. not in this series, hopefully. Anyway, the race
Wash
results.
your mouth out, exactly.
Race results are up on your screen now. Colin Cunniff wins then. Great job for him. Just checking how many wins he actually has to his name this season. That is win number 1 of the campaign for Colin Cunniff. Second for Ross McFarlane. That is his second podium. 6th top 10. Jack Sedgwick in 3rd. Chris Wood 4th. Diogo Melro 5th. Pete Newman in 6th. John Roberts, he drove the widest car in Barcelona, finishing 7th and topped the Pro-Am category with it. Dan Craft in 8th, Nicole Foggy 9th, and George Simmons completing the top 10. Michael Hall 11th, then Jamie Rushworth, Mark Woodhouse and Scott Malcolm get to stand on the Pro-Am podium. But Mark Woodhouse, who was right behind John Roberts early on in the race, can't believe how many pro cars passed him. Jack McIntyre finishes 15th, then Michael Blake in 16th place, 17th for Kip Stevens, 18th for Rich Warmingham, 19th for Dave Baker, and 20th for Adam Hedgecock. Adam McNally in 21st place. Ross Balfour, despite going off on the opening lap or so, or lap 2 or lap 3, one of them, one of the laps in this race, he finishes in 22nd. Sven Glatzel 23rd, Adam Hadfield in 24th. XVR Sim Racing's Johnny Brandon on the podium in race 1, finishes 25th in race 2. Then Jack Ashton, Jake Blackhall getting into some elbows with Alex Simpson earlier, finishes in 27th. Then Miguel Freitas in 28th, 29th for Ferenc Kern. Then it's Martin Sampson, Maciek Sakovic. Then Matt Bunn. There is Alex Simpson in 33rd. Then David Von Breck, Sean Gardner, Pete Harrod in 36th. Then Simon Field and Paul Smith in 37th and 38th, respectively. And then the rest of them. 39th for Christian Rose and Rob Graham, Lewis Bibby, Crispin Handel, the last classified finisher, 1 lap down, and then Bengalite, and then Michael Muller. And I believe that is it. I'm trying to work out who the 45th driver is that were missing, but not too sure on that. But it is 2 wins out of 2 for Scotland. Scottish footballers scored a hat-trick on Sunday night. We'll see if Scotland can complete a hat-trick of race victories in the ARL TCR when we throw it to Sam Kumo to decide the reverse grid. So let's see who's going to be on pole for the final race.
Okay, let's see. For some reason the wheel didn't want to show up, so let's try this again. Well, that's unfortunate. You just give me a moment, I will kick the wheel again and see if we can get it to run. Ah, there we go. So let's not waste any time and just spin it. I think on my end I'm kind of waiting for a little bit smaller. I think that's what we will be getting. That is 20.
Oh, 20, that is...
20? We're looking... Yeah, we're probably looking at the wrong part of the grid here.
It's Adam Hedgecock. Yeah, he's going to be on pole for the final race of the day. Second on the grid is going to be Dave Baker. And then third on the grid is Rich Warmingham, then Kip Stevens and Michael Blake. So that's how they're going to line up for race 3.
Yeah, so that's an exciting grid indeed, and we hope that you can stick with us here on the iRacing Esports Network as the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series continues for Race 3.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Spain and the Circuit de Catalunya here on the iRacing Esports Network for the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series. Welcome back, everyone. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo for Apex Racing TV, presenting all the action here for you on this famous circuit. And Adam, it's great that we're here at last. You know, we've had 2 rounds already tonight, but we didn't really talk about just how long it's been since this, you know, since we've had another F1 circuit on the iRacing service.
Yeah, you're right. We've had plenty of old circuits that have been on the F1 calendar in the past, like Imola
and no, Silverstone doesn't count. The new Silverstone doesn't count.
Just need a few more of them on the calendar. I can think of a few.
Sepang is the one I want. That's another
former track, isn't it?
Please, iRacing. That one is tremendous. Please go and do that one. Adam Hedgecock is on pole, Adam, and he's got a tough task though. The season 7 champion right behind him.
Yeah, another tall order for the Pro-Am drivers. He's on pole. Dave Baker in second, I'd say. Then it's Rich Warmingham, Kit Stevens, Michael Blake there in 5th place. He's steadily been working his way up through the field. Then it's Jack McIntyre, Scott Malcolm. He's the top Scotsman in the field. Then it's Mark Woodhouse, Jamie Rushworth, Michael Hall, George Simmons, and Nico Foggy completing the top 12. The rest of the grid starting to slide through your screen. And we've got 44 cars set to do battle, 43 cars, I should say, ready to do battle for the final time tonight.
Very quick cars all the way through the field. Very quick drivers. Here we go then, we're looking at Adam Hedgecock. What sort of start can he make? Lights are off, the race is on. It's a tremendous start by Boosted as normal. Brilliant from Hedgecock. He's not going to be challenged at all into turn 1. Dave Baker might be, because Kip Stevens is fairly close, but he's managed to hook it up fairly well, the CQR driver. Michael Blake in 4th, McIntyre in 5th. See how they all handle the S's. Oh, McIntyre's gone again. It's not tenable in this situation. McIntyre's connection is so poor. He really needs to sort that one out, because it is at the point where it is affecting the other drivers on a weekly basis.
Up to Repsol then. Here we're looking at Scott Malcolm, who's got Jamie Rushworth for company. A fantastic start.
Oh, Melrose been turned. I think he survived, does he?
It's about
4 wide. Oh, there goes. I think McNally going barreling into the scene.
Oh, someone's up in the gravel. It's not. Oh, is it Ferenc Kern again?
No, it's not. It's Alex Simpson. There goes Ferenc Kern.
There you go.
And there is Pete Harrod in the gravel that he was in race 1. All that one.
We'll call it the ERT gravel trap, I reckon.
Sponsorship is available, exactly. Baker's taking the lead meanwhile. Can he keep it? I think the answer is no on that one. Adam Hedgecock goes flying through. Baker hits the sausage curb. And he's... Oh, Paul Smith has crashed apparently.
Been a good start for Paul. He gained 10 places. More cars dropping down the order. Nico Foggy being one.
Oh, there goes Foggy's. Foggy's off, and Roberts is off, and Warmingham, and not Warmingham. Blackhall. Oh, what a mess! And it's still going off in the final sector, Adam. It's so close quarters around here. There's a V-Racer car.
God, gotta be Sven Glatzel 513. It is.
It's got to be Glatzel. If there's trouble about, he's usually not far away from it.
You know what Glatzel's about? Over the line we go to complete the first lap then. It is battles literally everywhere going into the first corner.
Stevens and Hall were inches apart from each other as well. Oh, Baker's sideways in the battle for second.
Yeah, I heard screeching of tyres.
I think Stevens actually ran into Baker instead of while he was defending from Hall. People are flying down the timing screen. Simon Field, I think, might be off. Oh, sideways. Mike Hall, he does save it.
Is that Blake that was also sideways? I think it might have been either him or Malcolm. Up the inside into Seats goes the XVR car. That's Warmingham through. McIntyre's also through. Jamie Rushworth, he's going to try and get through. And I think he is.
There's a Team Mad car on the inside as well. I think that might be Diogo Melro looking to get 10th place away from Michael Hall. But Jack McIntyre has steadied the ship. I think we've lost Handel and Bunn.
And I don't even think Brandon started. Yeah, Bunn and Handel both in the pit. Here's Lewis Bibby, who has had a good start. 15 places gained. And when we came to him, it looked like he was a little bit slow.
Slow down.
Oh dear, all that hard work. Oh, Sedgwick up the inside there. That is Maciek Sakovic.
And then Glatzel up the inside of McNally, and McFarlane follows him through. Sedgwick, Smith and Sakovic are now battling. Wheel to wheel between McFarlane and McNally.
The inside he goes.
Oh,
Flying over the chicane there.
oh, I think McNally's been hit from behind. He's ended up in the gravel.
Onto the front straight, it's a sea of...
Nicole Foggy's off again, I think.
Oh dear.
Freitas sets the fastest lap. Your Freitas, Simmons blinking away now. Not ideal for his competitors. Michael Hall's on the inside of Simmons into 2. Woodhouse and Wood just behind them.
Oh, fantastic scrap this. They were very close there to getting stuck together. Into Repsol they come. Watch out for the other Team Mad car in the background. That is Woodhouse. Oh, forcing his way through almost on the Sim Sports Racing USA car.
Right on the inside there, Woodhouse. No prisoners taken for him. Holgos flying up the inside into 5. Ross Balfour having a look on Chris Wood as well behind.
Very
See
wide.
all the Team Mad cars involved in this battle.
Simmons getting by. Oh,
Nerf into Earth. And Stevens. Stevens going slowly, is it? Who's that going slowly?
looked like he was touring a little bit.
Stevens, yeah.
No pun intended. As we go into the Keixer hairpin, wheel to wheel for 3rd or 4th place, I think.
Fastest lap last time round, Adam Hadfield, 158.12.
Oh yeah. Into the hairpin, and that's Warmingham, Rushworth. All the very close indeed going into Europe car, but it's the XVR car that maintains position.
Oh, he's missed the chicane, Warmingham. He's going to be very slow on the exit. Look how much it's going to bunch everybody up now.
It's almost like a safety car restart as they come through the final corner.
Now there'll be some passing into turn 1 now, I'm sure. Melrose having a look. Rushworth is having a look. Hedgecock sets the fastest lap. And Sedgwick now sets the fastest lap. So we've got a couple of battles. Warmingham versus Rushworth. This is for P4. Rushworth trying to go round the outside of the XVR car.
Oh,
Clears
nice.
him. Beautiful move by the Season 4 champion.
Yeah, great move round the outside. Was able to time the braking to perfection and was able to get clear before they got to the second apex.
McIntyre's gone again. So it's not getting any better, I'm afraid.
At least he's probably got the adequate distance needed to have a bit of blinking now between the rest of the cars.
I think arguably it gave him the win in last week's meeting because everyone was too scared to overtake him. Here's Simmons. Simmons and Balfour going to battle. Balfour's next target in the independent core sim racing car is Kip Stevens.
Yeah, this could be interesting. Ross Balfour, it might be his first race meeting of the season, but he is no stranger to this championship. He knows some of these competitors from when he raced in the Kia a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I'd say most of them, yeah.
Action racing, I think it was, wasn't it? I think something
yeah,
like that.
I think you're right.
Oh,
Stevens is. Oh, they're all running to each other. Oh, it's not going to be great on the exit here, going into 11.
Oh.
Jesus. Oh, sideways. Massive drift. He saved it. Oh, off into the gravel is Simmons. And I wonder if he kept out of the wall. He's sideways again. He loses out to this time to Jack Sedgwick. This is what this section can do. Tell you what, in touring car racing, Adam, this section really does come into its own.
Really does. It's almost like the Hungaroring. That's a track that isn't very well favoured in F1, but in touring cars, it's a fantastic track for them as they come across over the timing line. We've got just over half the race still to go, and look at this, it's just an endless snake.
I suppose dirty air is barely a thing in touring cars. It does exist, but really to infinitesimal levels. And oh, Newman crashes over the curb. Oh, side by side in the background as well. I think that was. I'm not actually sure who that was, to be honest. It's Smith and Cunniff, yeah.
Going to be the race 2 winner that comes out on top. Meanwhile, his teammate Woodhouse up the inside, 3 wide on the exit of Repsol.
Wood is on the outside. It's a timber-themed battle, this. And flying down the outside, down the inside of this hole.
And you shouted Tim for that.
Yeah.
Dave Baker's taking the lead, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, has he?
Running outside of Campster, he's through.
Hedgecock is very strong in this car, and he's worked very hard this season to really up his game. He's found a new level with this Audi. So it's not, while a couple of seasons, maybe even last season in the Kia Optima, I would have said that this battle was done and dusted by now. I don't necessarily think it is. Baker will need to be on his A game to stave off Hedgecock here, as they vie for the race win in round 3 of the evening here at the Circuit de Catalunya. This is the iRacing Esports Network, Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bad, Sam Kumo on the cameras for Apex Racing TV, bringing you all the action here from this tremendous circuit. First time we've come here, Adam. It's been an absolute blast.
Yeah, it's been great. We're looking forward to coming here and racing ourselves on Sunday. And Adam Hedgecock, who's Dan Kraft puts in a fastest lap of the race. Adam Hedgecock, let's not forget, he's in the boosted car, which we saw with John Roberts, was a really, really quick in a straight line. So if he could just stay with Dave Baker in the tow, he might fancy his chances. There's, I think in the background there, Ross Balfour and Jürgen Miller are very, very close. A couple of attempts between them. There you go.
We may struggle to overtake them on the straights on Sunday. Thinking about that.
Oh, yeah.
Might be very difficult indeed.
Let's just hope we actually have 3 solid races for a change.
Yeah, well, we actually finished the race. A few drivers tonight have had that problem as well, where they just don't seem to get. Alex Simpson this season doesn't seem to have had 3 races where he's actually, had 3 solid finishes. Here he is, in fact, he's battling it out with Nicole Foggy. So in theory, 2 drivers with quite similar pace here. They've got an automech obstacle to try to get round. Simpson tried to round the outside. Oh, he got absolutely mugged there by Foggy. Foggy up the inside into 5. Simpson looking for the outside into 7. Gets a good exit, but there's no real space into camp, so Foggy might have to defend the inside slightly here. A good battle going on for 24th, 25th. Rob Graham. Oh, Chris Wood dropping down the order. Rob Graham and Lewis Bibby there were battling for the different automech stables.
Yeah,
Automech teams in the same stable, sorry.
Yeah, Automech not kill, automech.co.uk. They've got different colours on different sides of the car, if that helps you identify them. So
I mean, it doesn't help, but it helps me know that they're different. Bibby's got the blue on the blue on the left side is .co.uk, the blue on the right is not kill.
So you have to do a quick bit of visual learning there to make sure you know which team's which.
It doesn't help that they both am drivers as well, so they've both got the blue stripe above the window. This is Jamie Rushworth going down the inside into turn 1 on McIntyre, forces his rival slightly wide, and actually then comes Dan Kraft through into P4, and now he's going to chase after Jamie Rushworth. He's going to resume that.
Been a really solid evening for Dan Kraft and for SimSports Racing USA in general here. They've had a really good run of things here, and Jamie Rushworth seems to be a man on the mission. Can he bridge that 2.5 second gap to Adam Hedgecock? Then we could have a real race on our hands in the closing stages.
I feel like Kraft is another one of those guys who's been revitalised and remotivated by the Audi. Seemed to sort of drift in and out of races, of championships and races in last couple of years, I think. We've not mentioned Wojciech Sminovic tonight. He's not here, and we haven't mentioned that up to this point. But his disastrous start to the season is obviously going to continue today.
Yeah, massive elephant in the room, so big that we didn't even notice that we didn't notice it.
Probably inside the elephant. That's probably eaten us already. No. Oh. And yes,
Close.
I know they only eat plants, but it's the only thing I could think of, ladies and gentlemen. All analogies aren't good ones. Hall trying to stay ahead of Jack Sedgwick, and it's been a solid night for Michael Hall too, actually.
Yeah, yes, Sim Sports Racing USA coming to the fore again here as we go into the chicane. Jack Sedgwick has been one of the few ERT drivers that's had a good night, really. Here he is in 12th place, 6 places gained, and onto the front straight. See if he can close in on the 2 cars going wheel to wheel in front of him. It's shades of Mansell v Senna here.
Well, if you make a mistake at this point, you've got 10 or 11 cars waiting to come past. You can see them all in the background there. And up the inside goes Hall on Stevens. Lovely move there by Michael Hall. He goes up into 11th position.
Gap's coming down between 2nd and 3rd, albeit slowly. It's down to 1.7 seconds between Hedgecock and Rushworth. They are coming. Here is the battle for 8th and 9th. This is Diogo Melro versus Michael Blake, Pro versus Pro-Am.
Actually, you can see how important the slipstream is, because Hedgecock, without any slipstream to speak of, actually one of the slowest drivers on the circuit the last time round. And we know he's not one of the slowest drivers on the track, but see how important that tow can be around here. This is the battle for the final step on the podium. Jamie Rushworth and Dan Kraft then. What can Kraft do, Adam? He's got within 4/10 here, but it's just that last little bit that he needs.
He's trying everything, isn't he? You can see running a bit wide on the exit of the Leclerc stepping off.
Oh,
Is Nicole Foggy. Now there's a replay. That's Paul Smith, and that is one of the Automet cars. Oh dear, no!
Oh, Smith loses it. Gives Foggy a little bit of a nudge.
Oh,
oh
no! It's like Christian Rose.
It's finished off by Alex Simpson, I think.
Or was it a CQR car rather than a ERT car?
I think it was an ERT car, but who knows? But it looked like a white car.
Oh, Paul Smith, he's still at it. He's got Automet cars with him. Oh, they ricochet off him.
Yeah, I think it had more white on it than a CQR car, I think, looking back at it. Smith still fights on, however. You wonder, though, he didn't really give Foggy a big nudge, did he? It was only a tiny little tap, so I don't know whether I don't know how much difference it made. Chris Wood's going for it all. All the beans. The inside. Oh. He's lost his marbles. Going for 3 wide like that, but hey, you've got to try it.
Marbles. Literally everything. Where's the beanstalk?
Well, I tell you, I'll probably accept some magic beans at this point in this lot. Going. Oh. Whoa, what a good cutback.
Oh, dear. Cars off everywhere.
What on earth has happened? Ashton is off. Stevens is off. How has that ended up like that?
Ross Farlin might have been off somewhere near these guys.
Oh, Glatzel's off in the Simmons is off in the gravel. Woodhouse, not Glatzel.
It's all kicking off. Here's a replay.
So this is the original incident. Coming around turn 4, just hitting and hitting. Oh, and then the ERT car hits Ashton.
Hoovers him off the circuit.
Oh, then Ashton's off as a result of going across the front of Kip Stevens. And then down at the bottom of the hill, that's Woodhouse and Simmons.
Yeah.
Dear.
I think that's going to be a flashpoint that the stewards will be looking at a little bit later on.
Yeah, certainly will.
Now, this is
Kia Club Series champion Magic Sakovic.
Yeah, he's had a good evening so far. And meanwhile, here is the fight for 2nd place. Jamie Rushworth, he's arrived on the scene. It didn't take him long to close down those 2 seconds.
Oh, what's happened? Smith, Wood, Blackhall, Van Broek, Hadfield, have they all crashed? Have we had a big incident?
they're not tumbling down the order, but some. Oh dear, I thought someone had blown the engine for a second.
They might have had a big sort of. Oh well, it's still going on, of course. 3 wide. Here comes David Van Broek.
My mind is telling me that they were probably parked. I reckon they were all parked on the middle of the chicane, don't you?
Just having their own separate little committee meeting, yeah.
Mothers reunion, or I don't know, Audi Drivers Club reunion or something. I don't know.
Smith around the outside. Gets that one done in turn 3. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what happened, but I don't know if. Again, it's probably nothing major, but let's see it anyway. I think you're about to be complete. Although there were a couple of extra cars in this group that weren't there a second or two later. Oh, there goes one of them. Oh! So Smith got punted over the sausage curves. He goes over the sleeping policeman. Comes back on.
And then through here.
And Chris Wood was in that group, but he's escaped.
Tell you what, Paul Smith did a fantastic job not to get too much of a slowdown penalty there. Either that or he served it in a very inconspicuous way. But we've got half a minute to go. And
he smashed over the sausage. He leapt over the sausage curves.
Oh.
Baker's coming through the final corner. He's going to start the final lap any moment now. He's going to get the white flag here. And just one lap of the Circuit de Catalunya to go for him.
And what a race it's been for David Baker. He's got a really comfortable lead. Look at this. This is the fight for the final spot on the podium.
Who's going to pick up the bubbly then? Hedgecock, Kraft, or Ross Balfour. Boosted Sim Sport or Core.
Balfour's already had a taste of the bubbly today.
And of course McIntyre with his disappearing act. He's right in just behind and giving Richard Warmingham all manner of annoyance, you'd imagine. Although saying that, you could just drive as close to McIntyre as possible, because if he blinks in and out and he goes off, then I guess that's not really down to you, is it? As Warmingham...
Good God, where is he?
Oh, Warmingham's still there. Hedgecock trying to fend them all off. Trying maybe to, in vain, make some assault on that 4th place from Ross Balfour, but I think it's going to be Balfour versus Kraft for the last spot on the podium now, and the little bit of the bubbly going forward.
Never mind bubbly, I think McIntyre's become gassed at some point. Oh, wow.
Dear me. He's brave considering how bad his internet connection is. He is racing as closely with these drivers as he is. That's probably the last chance for Balfour, you would think. He might, although saying that, he is very close. He might try the old touring car little nudgy. He's trying it. It's the old Matt Neal job through clearways. And he might have a dive into the chicane. Is he going to have a dive into the chicane? He can't really. Here comes Dave Baker then, over the line to take round 3 of the evening. From 2nd on the grid, David Baker wins. Jamie Rushworth in 2nd place. Great strong pace from Rushworth, actually. Was not that far behind at the end. Dan Kraft does get 3rd, ahead of Ross Balfour. Hedgecock, McIntyre, Warmingham, Melrose, Sedgwick and Blake, the top 10. Hedgecock wins the AM category.
Fight for the final spot in the top 20. It will go to Jack Ashton in the Excite Racing car. He was in the gravel at some point during this race. I think everybody's been in the gravel. Let's face it, at some point. Very close between Simon Field and Ferenc Kern. Just a 10th of a second between them as they fight for the line. And over the line they go. And it is Simon Field that finishes ahead of the German. He finishes 28th to Simon Field for Boosted Sim Sports. I think we've got a few more cars just to come across the line. I think Christian Rose and Adam McNally aren't too far away. There you go. And that is it. That is Adam McNally coming across the line in formation style there. 5:01 over the line. And he locks up to finish and he goes back to the pits. There's Jamie Rushworth. Sorry, there's Dave Baker. It's a 1-2 for CQR Club as well. Dave Baker takes what looks like his, as I try to find him on the sheet, his first win of the season. Quite remarkable, really. First podium of the season as well.
Well, that is the first meeting here at Circuit de Catalunya in the books. And, well, Adam, what a result for CQR at the end there.
Fantastic job for them. Them and Sim Sports Racing USA are probably going to be the two teams that come away from here pretty happy. And we've got the final results up on the screen for you now. Dave Baker, he wins. Jamie Rushworth, second for CQR. Dan Kraft in third, former CQR driver there on the podium. They all get a share of the cheap bubbly here. Ross Balfour in fourth, Adam Hedgecock fifth. Just a couple of attempts ahead of Jack McIntyre, who blinked and blurred and all whatever to a sixth place. Rich Warmingham in seventh, then Diogo Melro in eighth. Jack Sedgwick in ninth, and then Michael Blake in 10th. 11th for Pete Newman, 12th for Michael Hall, then it's Ross McFarlane in 13th place. Sven Glatzel, he managed to finish 14th. His car was all over the place today. Miguel Freitas 15th, Colin Cuniff in 16th place. A win for him though tonight, so he'll be happy with that. And George Simmons, Maciek Sakovic in 18th, 19th for Alex Simpson, and then Jack Ashton in 20th. Then it's Mark Woodhouse in 21st, Kip Stevens in 22nd, and then it's Chris Wood, Jake Blackcall, Adam Hadfield there, Forta McNockkill in 25th. Then it's Paul Smith, David Von Breck, and then Simon Field in 28th place. 29th for Ferenc Kern, just 10th or so away. Then Scott Malcolm in 30th. 31st for Martin Sampson. 32nd for John Roberts. And then Rob Graham, Christian Rose, Anna McNally. And then the cars that didn't finish. And there's quite a lot in this final race. Lewis Bibby, Nicole Foggy, we saw what happened to him. Michael Muller, Ben Galite, Crispin Handel. Matt Bunn was out very early on. Pete Harrod and Johnny Brandon finishing right at the back. Tell you what, we are racking up the air miles in the ARL TCR. A week after coming back from the States, we're back off there again next week. We're heading to Sebring, the international layout it looks. So that's going to be interesting. And tell you what, looking forward to that.
Yeah, and you know, Sebring completely different from the smooth, wide circuit that is this one, and yeah, complete antithesis, of course, with its bumpy nature, surface changes, and in some parts walls in quite close proximity. So we'll see what happens, because I feel like it could be a very, very interesting one indeed. Right, let's have a little look then and just see if there is anyone to have a chat with. Indeed, there are, and I think we'll get the race 3 winner up in the commentary box, and Dave Baker joins us now. Dave, congratulations on race 3.
Thank you very much.
You must have been very, very pleased when the reverse grid went in your favour.
Yeah, considering I only got it through the last corner on the previous race.
Wow.
Bit of a check-up, so I just squeezed through for it. So yeah, it could so easily have been 21st and missed out. So yeah, you got to take your chances when they fall, though.
Is it fair to say that being at the front is almost even more important here? Not for the fact that, say, it's difficult to overtake, but because of the absolute sort of mayhem we saw, and just how close the drivers all were to each other, especially in the midfield.
Quite probably, yeah. I mean, if you get a check-up, just because the amount of sheer cars that are trying to get through a tight part of the track, you know, they can easily lose 2 or 3 seconds. Well, that's the draft gone, really. So if you're up at the front, you can make a clean getaway and not fight too much and build a bit of a gap. Usually you can then keep those places, but you'll still have some people, like I know Ross Balfour and others, would still charge through towards the end. I saw him coming like a steam train, so you're not always safe even if you make a good start.
No, you're not, as many people found. Many people, I think, spend more time in the gravel than on the circuit, especially on the first lap tonight. 1-2 in race 3, Dave. Jamie showed some excellent pace. Is it fair to say that CQR are pretty happy with how things are going at the moment?
Yeah, we've still got some work to do because, you know, as you saw from the qualifying, we weren't exactly up there. And in the practice times, again, we were kind of maybe half a tenth off of the team. But, you know, you sort of think, oh, half a tenth, that's nothing. But here it's, you know, 10 places easily. So we're still trying to find every little thing, still trying to figure out the tyres, how best to warm them up and then keep them alive and all that sort of stuff. So there's some stuff we've still got to work out, but hopefully we're getting better.
and going to Sebring next time out, of course. Track that you've raced a few times in this series. Completely opposite to this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because it's quite a narrow track, quite bumpy. There aren't really runoffs. The camber's quite, well, there is no camber on the corners. It's a flat old airfield, isn't it? So going 2-3 wide through some of the corners is going to be interesting, but possible. Well, if it's not possible, I'm sure guys here will probably try it anyway, you know.
Oh, they're always going to try it. And
exactly.
Just quickly before we let you go, any advice for us? We're going to be racing here on Sunday. Anything that you can...
racing here?
Yes.
Yeah. Good luck. I have no advice. Just try and avoid the checkups. Go where the other cars aren't going, but not off track.
I'm just seeing you actually got hit around quite a bit actually in that last.
Oh yeah.
In that last race, even at the start yourself.
But yeah, try and make up the positions on the opening laps. I think that's key. So yeah, I just wish you the best of luck. It's great fun. It's a really great track for these cars. You know, they get to stretch their legs on the straights, but also you got to work it through the corners to not run wide and keep it too wide and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully you'll have fun.
I'm sure it will be. You know the drill. If you want to thank the sponsors, team, friends, family, whoever.
It's the same drill every week, isn't it? With this, it's thank everybody in CQR for working tirelessly to try and make our team better, setups and all. Thank you guys for the broadcasts of course, and iRacing for putting it out on the iRacing Esports Network. To all the drivers that turn up, you know, and participate in this series, it is nothing without them. And so, yeah, on to next week, I guess, and hopefully it will be another great week of racing.
Solid plugs there, Dave. Thank you very much.
Oh, and well done to Adam in race 3. Actually, he fought me all the way for the start of it and was a cracking battle with him. So, got to give him props for that.
He's shown a lot this season. In fact, we are going to talk to him actually now. Adam Hedgecock is with Adam Bath.
Yeah, it's a meeting of two Adams here in the interview room. It's a bit like my life at work, really. Adam, welcome. Well done. Well done today. I must say, Boosted looked like they had a really strong motor underneath them today, and you were able to prove that with a top 5 finish and a win in the Pro-Am category too.
Yeah, we're kind of lucky. The car suits a lot of our styles. The Kia was a bit hit and miss with the group, but this car seems to suit everybody, and yeah, we're bringing in some nice results. I think John was 7th in race 2.
Yeah, he held.
He was.
He held pretty much the whole field back, and he was quick in all the right places. Just like you were saying, the booster car was very quick in a straight line too. So it looks like you've really got something good ahead of you this season. I
hope so. We've as a group, we're working hard to kind of get better, and personally, I spend a lot of time in this car just trying to improve. I like driving it. It's a fun car, and I think I'd be annoyed if I wasn't as competitive as I could be, you know?
You had a good start to race 3, but I bet you wish the race was about 2 minutes or so shorter. Then Jamie Rushworth probably wouldn't have been able to go back to you in time.
Yeah, it was a cracking start, probably the best start I had all night. Managed to pull about half a second on Dave down into turn 1. But he's just ridiculously consistent. If you make a mistake, you know he's going to be there. Yeah, unfortunately lost the back of Dave, and once that toe had gone, the others were approaching. Dan got brave and threw one up the inside, but fair play to him. He gave me the spot back. And yeah, from then on in, it was just try and limit the amount of places I lost, try and limit the time lost. Because I knew that the other AMs weren't anywhere near at that point, so it's all about the points.
I was looking at your stats for the season. You're the top AM driver at the moment. A podium, 2 top 10s, and with that podium, by the way, coming at Snetterton. Things are really looking good for you. And next week we head to Sebring International as well, back to the States, and I don't think you really could get a track completely contrasted with this one.
No. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how this car acts over the Sunset. You know, over that bobbly ground. That'll be fun. It does get a bit tight there, so I'd imagine there will be some elbows out, but that's all part and parcel of the car. I think that's why we enjoy it so much.
Yeah, it's why we're enjoying it so much as well. It's been a brilliant start to the season. Well, Adam, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, the boosted guys. I mean, you know them as well as I do. Fun team to be with. Great bunch of guys.
Sure.
You guys put on a great show as always. I like always. I have you playing in my ear as I drive. So it's good stuff.
Surprised you don't crash off with some of the things we go on about. Dear me.
Well, see, fortunately, there's not a lot of latency between your broadcast and what I can hear. So if I hear that there's a big one up the road, I'm already kind of preparing for it. So it kind of helps a little bit. You're like a couple of mates doing some spotting for me up the road.
There you go. And we don't get paid for that, of course. Anyway, will we see you out on the? Do you race on the Sunday? I can't remember these days.
I do race on the Sunday, yes.
Oh well, so we'll go from being in your ear to probably being in front or probably behind you.
Behind, let's face it.
Well, Anthony, you say that, but you two always manage to out-qualify me on a Sunday.
I think qualifying sheer dumb luck, to be honest, from me especially. But so I'm not a great qualifier, but I think I think this one will be good though. I like this track a lot, so hopefully we'll be a bit closer.
Yeah, let's hope so. Always look forward to racing against you guys.
Cool. Well, Well, thanks a lot for stepping into the interview room, Adam. And we'll see you on the track on Sunday. And we'll see you in the ARL TCR at Sebring next week.
Yeah, will do. Thanks for having me.
Adam Edgecock there, and boosted guys really going from strength to strength, and as seems to be usual at the end of a meeting on a Thursday night, we have Adam McNally with us. Adam, hello, mate.
Good evening.
Evening. That looked like he was very, very manic in the middle of the pack. It looked like in pretty much every race for you, you always seemed to have a car on either side of you.
Oh, it was crazy, especially race 2. That was just probably the most epic battle I've ever had in race 2. 3 wide every corner, and it was always different drivers you were 3 wide with in every corner. And I just don't know how we all got through it, to be honest with you. It was lap 5 before I picked up my first X. So, like I said, some great racing, room given. Sometimes squeezed a little bit too much, but it's touring car racing for you.
It is indeed. First visit to Circuit de Catalunya for the series. It looked to us like it was a very, very successful meeting. I mean, did you enjoy the racing out there?
Oh, I loved it. Race 1, I got the Pro-Am win. Got 12th from 23rd on the grid. Race 2, worked my way up. Just a bit devastated at the end. I got run off the track. Cost us 3 places, and I missed out on reverse grid by 1.
Oh.
And then.
Oh no!
Was that the one that Baker was talking about?
I think so. It was, yeah.
Oh.
And then race 3, like I said, race 2, 5 laps of craziness with 1x. Race 3, by the end of lap 2, I was on 17, just had to let everyone go. Couldn't risk one contact. So, swings and roundabouts, really.
So, there was only the 2 Excite Energy cars out there tonight. Is that just a scheduling issue, or is everybody going to be back for the next one?
Hopefully, everyone will be back for the next one. Delmont had a bit of hardware issues.
Sorry, we're just seeing you go through the middle of a couple of cars, then bouncing off you, and then another car bouncing around in front of you. It's quite amazing. You'll have to watch this on. I mean, obviously you were in it, but you have to watch this on board when you get the chance.
I actually think I might have been at fault at that one. Is it into the left-hand hairpin?
It is into the left-hand.
I kind of sent it a little bit, and maybe it caused that. But everyone survived, I think. I hope.
Well, we're about to see another left-hand hairpin coming up, so I will let you know if anything anything happens. Oh yeah, a little bit. Little bit of something.
The tyres are so crazy on the first few laps as well. It's just, it can end up in carnage or it can end up in awesome racing.
We're seeing some carnage out on the screen actually, so have a look. Definitely watch the end of the broadcast.
I will do.
See that one. Thank you as always, Adam, for joining us. Just give a shout out if you like before we let you go.
I'll give a shout out to you lads for the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back. Everyone from behind the scenes who does all the hard work. Our main sponsors, Excite Energy. We've got Motorsport Days Live, who have an event coming up in the 1st and 2nd of November at Silverstone. So looking forward to being there. We'll have the Race Mentor Premature Baby Foundation, Luxim 24 in the SG UK.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you very much, Adam, and we'll see you next time at Sebring.
Thanks. Look forward to the racing against us on Sunday.
Yeah, probably being in front of us again, but you know. Cheers, mate.
Right, catch us later.
See ya. And Adam, the last victim of yours will be Colin Cunningham.
Oh, Colin.
Hello.
I said on the broadcast that we saw a Scotsman get a hat trick on Sunday. Oh, this is a terrible start to the interview, but it was very nearly a hat trick of race victories for Scotland here today. You had yourself winning race 2, and you had Nicole winning race 1. So it was a pretty good evening for you two.
Well, just like the one on Sunday there, race 2 was a bit of a hollow victory. It was just straight out the front and just kept it there. Tough.
It was the perfect tonic, really, wasn't it? After race 1, because I remember you being in the gravel at the hair.
I was spun twice, just through other people's incidents, being 3 and 4 wide. Yeah, so it was a bit of karma, which was
nice.
Good. That's why I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I love dishing that out, especially on a Sunday in the series that we're in. Race 3, though, tell us about that one, because just looking to see where you finished in that one, in fact.
I was just avoiding everything, pretty much. Yeah, you go in. I'm having problems lighting up the tyres to begin with, so I can get off the line pretty quick, but after that, it sort of takes me a little bit of time to get the tyres in, so I usually lose a few positions in the first couple of laps. And there's just a case of fighting it back.
Yeah, it's true. I must admit, especially from some of the racing that we do at the weekend. First win of the campaign for you, though. You're off the mark there in that respect, and you'll be hoping that you can build on that when we go to Sebring next week.
But I was never really looking forward to this track. It's never been one of my favourites. This is the first time I've driven it in about 5 years, I think. So I never enjoyed practicing it, so I never did too much. So to get a win of it, it was quite good. But Sebring will be a whole different kettle of fish. I've done too many laps around there.
And then after that, we've got Interlagos, Montreal, Mosport as well. So some pretty challenging tracks for this car. And I think with Interlagos especially, we're going to see a lot of slipstreaming going on there.
It's just all down to how the tyres perform, and it's good that we've got a tyre model now where people can push and then they suffer later on, or those that save their tyres early on could push towards the end, and it's providing good racing. A lot of things are getting close, but I think a lot of people are starting to get the hang of it, and Interlagos is one of those tracks that it's just going to be mad because the overtaking is just side by side all the time, and yeah, once you get the slipstreaming, it's into the Sen S is just going to be mental.
Yeah, we got that to look forward to in 2 weeks' time. Well, Colin, well done on the race 2 victory today, and it looks like a 16th place in race 3. So I reckon that's pretty solid, to be fair. And before we let you go,
I'm quite happy.
Yeah, you have every right. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, thanks to G2 Omega, Isla Base and Logo and Stitch for sponsoring my car for this series. That's my first interview, so I thought I'd need to get that chucked in.
Nice.
But it's good to be racing with the XVR boys for allowing me to compete with them, and allowing me to use my own car, so it's good to get some stream time as well.
Great, well
thanks to you as well, guys, because it's good to be back ARL where it all first started for me.
Oh yeah,
back in the ARL GP26.
Oh, of course.
My very first league that I competed in, and so just back to an ARL league. It's good to be.
Yeah, it's good to have you as well, and it's great that the Apex Racing League is back, and it's very all starting for me as well. So it brings back the good memories, and we're making our own new ones as well. With Circuit de Catalunya for the first time was brilliant. But Colin, well done. Thank you for joining us again. We'll see you at Sebring.
Cheers, guys.
Colin Cunningham there, Adam, and it's been a tremendous meeting, this one, and one that I think it's a new one to this championship, but one that's going to continue for many years, I'm sure. Yeah,
there's really, really good racing tonight.
You might have lost the Spanish Grand Prix, actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I think Spanish Grand Prix is on the calendar for next season.
It is,
isn't it? Yeah, just about. There were rumours of its demise were greatly exaggerated, potentially. So yeah, that's back on the calendar, and hopefully this one will stick around too. And I'm looking forward to Sebring next week, especially as I believe it's the international layout. So obviously it's not going to be the quick run through Sunset. It's going to be we go straight on at the end of the long back straight and then into almost a hairpin really to end the lap. So that could pose an interesting battle there. And I think also we turn off before we go towards the big hairpin. We turn right. It's a double 90-degree right-handers, I think, too. So that is going to be a whole lot of laugh if you're up in the commentary box at the start of the race, because that is going to be pretty interesting to try and get 40-plus Audi TCR cars through there. So really looking forward to seeing how that's going to take place.
Yeah, I think we need more space, not less. But it'll still be very, very fun to see how that plays out. Adam, thank you again. Thanks to Sam for the cameras as well. This has been the Apex Racing League TCR Winter Series here on the iRacing Esports Network. From all of us here at Apex Racing TV, it's goodbye for now.